season. New show, new folks, new reasons. New level, so you know we going up. South with the old, so you know we cleaning. We gleaning, brand new story. Got a podcast, come talk with Tori. Got you fiending, new stories. New podcast, come and talk with Tori.
Hey y'all, season 3. Check it out, y'all. You don't want to miss it. I have some exciting things for you. Hey y'all, it's Tori with Tori Talks. I have a special guest with me today, Hxndrx. And to be honest, y'all, we don't really know each other. I messaged him on Instagram. I follow him on Instagram because of his music, and I messaged him, and almost instantly he was like, yeah, let's do it. So here we are. And Hxndrx, if you want to just give a little small bio, whether it's, about you, your music, whatever you aspire to do, things like that, just get it to me real quick.
All right, for sure. Yeah, I want to start off and say I appreciate you having me on. It's a pleasure, so thank you. Yeah, my name is Hxndrx. I'm a artist and producer with music, of course. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. I've been making music for quite some time. I've done a lot of behind the scenes stuff and different things. So, for the most part, though, I'm a music producer and an artist from New Orleans, for sure.
Okay, cool. So we're going to just jump right into it. And I have a few questions, but, if you want to go more in depth or if you want to switch it up a little bit, that's fine.
Okay.
It's all good. But yeah, I said thank you for coming on and how quickly everything happened. So I appreciate you once again.
Oh, yeah, don't want to waste time.
But I want you to just tell us a little bit about how you got into the music industry.
Okay.
How the evolution came about.
So, man, music has always been something like just around, you know what I mean? So I know my grandmother, she used to have a record player. She used to be watching like Soul Train in the mornings, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I really, got in and like being around her record player and watching Soul Train. I used to look at the back of albums, see who was involved with it, you know what I'm saying? So that's what really got me into it. I used to play drums as a kid. I got a Christmas gift. It was a drum set. So I just been always in the music since I was young. And then the older I got, guitars, I think I was in like the 5th grade, middle school. They opened up a guitar center, and I used to actually get the brochures like sent in the mail. You know what I'm saying? So I would circle stuff I wanted to shop like that I was gonna get. You know what I mean? So that was going on. Then in high school, I was in band, I was in music. With that. Then I think, man, when I went to college, I went to like junior college. I went to Delgado in New Orleans, and they had like a music program. So I studied, that in business. So then from that point on, I was working in studios, doing different stuff behind the scenes. So I've been involved with music pretty much throughout my entire life. You know what I mean? So I guess, that's what God pretty much set me at. You know what I mean?
And I'm glad you brought God into it, right? So my next question, I've listened to some of your music. I think I've listened to your older music because I've been following you for a couple of years now. How you came up for me to even ask for this podcast episode, I think you just recently dropped some music or you had like a piece of a video on your page. And so that's what triggered me to reach out to you. But in maybe it was your first or second album, you started off with like your introduction. I think it was your first album. Your introduction is what really grasped my attention because it wasn't something that I've heard in music before. And I think I was looking at you, not really knowing what kind of music you did, right? So when I looked at you, I said, I thought you were more hip hop.
Right.
Then when I listened to that introduction, I was like, wait, this isn't hip hop. This is something else.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm sure you do remember because it's your music. But do you know what I'm talking about?
I wanted.
The first or second album.
Yeah, it might be the first one. It might be Message Received with the intro. I think it's the Pac and the Bob Marley intro on there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. That's
So
that 12 through 28. Yeah.
yes,
Right.
yes. Tell us why you chose to introduce yourself in that way.
Okay. So yeah. So I had took a break from actually making music myself. You know what I mean? Because I started out just making hip hop music, just in general, like as a teenager. You know what I mean? So doing that, it was cool. It just got to a point, I was maturing. I'm a father as well. So, it's just certain things that I want to stand for as a parent. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going through that. I'm maturing, different things like that. And, man, I got in that word and I really got the reading for real. You know what I'm saying? So then I decided to go back into music because I'm like, all right, I have something that I really, I'm into, I would like to talk about, you know what I'm saying? So, I want to vibe right here. So I felt like that would be a great introduction into just the new way of thinking that you know what I'm saying, how I was feeling, the music I was making, and the way when I heard Tupac and I heard Bob Marley interview, I was like, man, I gotta chop this up. I need to put this with this, and this they saying everything that needs to be said on how I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying? So that's really how that came together. You know what I mean? And I was thinking that I was like, man, when the person, is just like a book, you know what I'm saying? You're going to get a little introduction into that book. You kind of going to look at a little summary of it. So I felt like that intro was a good summary to summarize where we were going to go musically.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that was the thinking going into it.
And then also, and again, I think I'm pretty sure I heard you say that you classify your music as spiritual.
Right.
What did you mean by that?
So, music is spiritual. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's rhythm. You know what I mean? It's harmonies. It's, you dealing with unseen, you dealing with vibrations. You know what I'm saying? And, when you start reading it, you know what I mean? Like, God created all of this. You know what I mean? It ain't no way around it. You dealing with unseen vibrations. How can that not be spiritual? This stuff is moving through you. When you hear a good song, you feel it in your soul. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's just the nature of what we dealing with. We dealing with rhythm. You know what I'm saying? And that's a spiritual thing. So you just need to know how to direct it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say it's spiritual. I'm not tapping in with no negative frequencies on that side. I'm not into that. I'm into the real. I'm into, speaking on what it really is. You know what I'm saying? So, and it really is spiritual. I'm going to be honest. So, that's where it comes from. That's why I say it's spiritual, because at the root of it, that's all it is anyway.
Okay. What would you say is your favorite song that you've recorded? Ever?
I was just talking to my guy Kira Shai. We've been working forever, but he's one of the producers. I produce a lot of records, and he does too. I was telling him today, the Exile record for sure.
And why that one?
With the Exile record, I was living in Atlanta. That's on this album called Solomon's Temple. That was like, I always wanted to record an album just somewhere else. Like, I'm from New Orleans. It's a lot of music in New Orleans. I always wanted to go somewhere else and work on an album. And I had the opportunity with Solomon's Temple. I did that whole album in Atlanta. So, it was just where I was at, man. To be honest with you, God was like taking me through different things. I was experiencing different things, and how that song came together. That wasn't one of the best times, like that I was having. While I was out there, I'm away from home. I'm dealing with all kind of stuff that's going on in Atlanta with where we were staying at. Some of the stuff wasn't up to code. Like, we was having all kind of problems. So I'm like, man, God really like showing showing me like different things, you know what I'm saying? And I'm feeling like I'm exiled, like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm reading about that and what that, you know, that whole experience was, you know, for his people in the word, like being exiled out of their turf. Like I'm somewhere else. I'm not back home. You know what I'm saying? So I'm feeling that. You know what I'm saying? So just from my experience though. So that's why and it when I put it out, it had the biggest response. Like a lot of people, they was hitting me up from all over the world. I had people from Germany hitting me about the record, Brazil, like from all over. And it came from a place of, you know, I was feeling just I wasn't feeling the best, you know what I'm saying? And I just took that energy and put that into a record, you know what I'm saying? And to see it respond like that and knowing it was like just real all the way, you know, that's my joint. That's my joint.
Yeah. And I think I know the answer to this question. And I'm asking this because I've heard the term like ghostwriters and things like that. But do you write your own music?
Yeah. I write everything. I like to get secluded and work, you know what I'm saying? Just me alone, you know what I mean?
And I said I figured that because um, it might have been on your latest album. I heard you say this is real experiences or real life or
Right,
something like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That's but I had to ask, just to be sure because you can't assume things. But I was pretty sure.
That's the process. I'll work on a record I made. You know, the my guy K Rashad. We may go back and forth. I might send him some rough drafts, but other than that, when I'm actually like recording and laying like the tracks down, yeah, I like to do that. You know, I like to just get secluded and isolate.
Okay. Um, if anything, what would you tell your younger self? Something that you might need
Oh
today.
man, everything the elders were saying was true. Everything
Isn't
they
that
were saying. You know what I'm saying? Like knowledge is power. Money is the root of all evil. Man, it was so many things. You reap what you sow. You know what I'm saying? Like everything grandma was saying was true. You know what I'm saying? That's what I tell myself. So heed the warnings for real, for real.
yeah? Yeah. What are 3 words that you would use to describe your music?
Real life music. Yeah,
Music.
yeah, real life music. Real life music. It is hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the foundation. I do feel like though with a lot of mainstream hip hop, like they be lying. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when I was in Atlanta, like I'm working in the studios, you know what I'm saying? I'm in there, I'm seeing the record execs come down, I'm seeing what's going on. And that stuff that they talking about, man, they not really living like that. You know what I'm saying? So then, you know, I would leave out the studio and I see these young guys like, you know, just in a gas station around, I see them, you know, they mimicking what they're hearing, not knowing that, man, this stuff not real, man. I just left the studio with your favorite rapper and they in there just chilling, drinking water. They not popping no pills and doing none of that. Like they in there chilling, drinking water. You know what I'm saying? Like taking care of themselves. Like, you know, it's a job for them. So, you know, I think a lot of the younger generation they be wrapped up into that, man. I don't deal with that. I make real life music. I try to, coming up, man, I know about the Isley Brothers, the OJs, Marvin Gaye, you know what I'm saying? You know, that music was real, man. They talking about love and all kind of, so that's why I like to go with my music, man. Real life music.
Okay. And so I know you recently came out with some new music,
Mm-hmm.
but is there anything else new that might be brewing?
Yeah, we just did the video for this record called Solidified. That's like a big like what I'm finding as a big record on a project that we just put out, Second Kings, Solidified. I think it's track number 5 on the album. I didn't expect people to gravitate towards this record like this. K Rashad sent the song. I didn't really know what to do with it. It was a different rhythm, and come to find out, man, people took to it. So we just did the video for that, and I think we done recorded like 3 songs already for the new
Okay.
album that's coming called An Appointed Time. I'm gonna drop that sometime in May. I'm gonna drop that for my me and my wife wedding anniversary. Do something dope for that, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. What would you tell the generation following behind you?
Oh man, put God first.
Always.
Put God first. I'm talking about everything. I mean, all your thoughts. Let them consume your mind. You know what I'm saying? On your day to day, like whatever you're doing, like give them the glory. Like you gotta play the food in front of your face, man. Give them thanks at all times for that. And just put them first in your decision making. You know what I'm saying? Life would be way easier. Put God first, because I know nowadays it be seeming like stuff be all over the place. You hear about so many things, and it wouldn't be none of that. Just put God first, because I know how I was when I wasn't doing it, and I know how I feel now. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different experience with Him in my life versus when I was living without Him. I was lost. Most definitely, put God first.
And is there anything else that you would like to say or discuss or tell the people?
Oh man, look, I always gotta give Him the glory, man. Give Him the glory. Give the Father the glory. That'll be what I tell Him. You know what I mean? Give him, man, put Him first and give Him the glory at all times. That'll be it.
All right. Well, that's all we have for this week. Thank you again for um, answering so quick and agreeing to record so quickly.
Word,
Um,
word,
I
word.
really appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate
And
you.
and I look forward to the next album that's coming out in May.
Hey man, hey, I'm looking forward to you getting it, man. I probably see what I can do to see if I can send it to you early or something. For sure.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.